Oh man. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm so late or whatever. Frankly, technology is not the best thing that it, however. And of course, a lot of things. Um, no right stopping my. I don't anymore. It is what it is. One second. Sorry about that. Suddenly had a voicemail pop up. Anyways, so what's going on? A lot of things. Um, we had a lot of interesting little um things come up. Good old Lolcow slash Brahma sphere, call it. Um, quickly go over all that, see how we feel about it. I know how I feel. We'll get there, I suppose. First and foremost, we probably should talk about the wonderful world of X, which all their bullshit. Okay, good. Going. Anyways, so here on X and on Twitch more specifically, there was interesting little development that came up, and that was wonderful Twitch streamer extraordinaire Hasan. I'm gonna let the other dog bite her, Piker. Um, he has had a bit of a controversy going on last week, where his dumbass was literally abusing his dog on stream. Well, nobody really gave a shit. Nobody was doing anything about it. Of course, we can't have the CEO of Twitch thing, but Hasan is golden boy butt buddy, call it. I'm pretty sure that they're actually just extremely up each other's ass. And so, with that in mind, look at a couple of things from good old X, Twitter, what you call it. I don't really know what you call it. I know a lot of people uh, have started calling it. I'm never going to full on call it X. It's always been Twitter. It is, and Twitter. So go ahead and hop over there. What is going on? Place. Oh no. Adjusting eye here. All right, so in the wonderful X slash uh the whole Don Piker had a dog on stream, Kaya, a model dog, beautiful dog. Good old Hasan thought it would be a good idea, and has thought that it's been a good idea, however long it's had her, that essentially remain prop on his stream, quite literally hours of time, and doesn't see anything wrong with that. Well, trained dog. She loves him for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours on it. Nobody should have a problem with Claire, and is happy. Stupid. She's no dog in any sort of fashion is going to be happy with sitting in one spot, not being able to do anything, not being able to roam around, nothing, without like fear somebody literally fucking hurting her. I just have something playing in the. So we're gonna watch this video. What this covers, two clips that's covering what everybody's calling Collargate, where Thon was on stream, he was talking, doing his normal shtick, he's sole savior of the of the human race, and everything that is against him is either right wing, anti Palestine, or fuck. He's one of those people where say something bad against Hassan, then what the fuck are you doing with your life? You shouldn't be saying something bad about Hassan. There's genocide in Palestine going on. You shouldn't say something bad about Hassan. What about the whole Israel and Israel Palestine conflict that's going on? Don't you care about that? Why do you care about it? That's basically the main thing that is. And essentially, for good old Collargate here, uh, Son has claimed a few things. First thing he claimed was she got her Dewclaw caught, and that's why she yelped. It wasn't because of the fact that he really shocked his fucking dog. About the fact that you literally see him reach over and hit the button, which shocks the. Uh, and then it has slowly but surely evolved into the idea now that he's saying that Kaya never put the shot collar on to begin with, which is insane because she clearly has the collar on in the video, but we're just blind. We shouldn't. We're just all diluted, hallucinating. We shouldn't believe with our own eyes what we. about the fact that if we were experiencing some kind of like mass hysteria hallucination, then we wouldn't have been able to see or hear anything that he was saying during the stream. Fucking shocked her. But, you know, what do we know? We're just dumb, right? Uh, so going through Yeet, uh, wonderful Twitter here. I can very quickly watch it together. I think it's ridiculous how Hasan here has done basically everything he can to try to cover up the fact that he didn't do what we obviously saw. And then you got all these other brain dead openly agreeing that, yep, no one saw what they saw, no one heard. Don't believe your eyes and ears. They can't. And the fact that people continue to support him at this very strange to me, how someone can out over and over again to be a lying scumfuck, and there are people who are doing fucking backflips and cartwheels and try to cover for somebody who would never cover for them. But so, like I said, the story that he's had has evolved. It went from, oh no, I didn't shock her, she didn't get shocked or anything, to, uh, she wasn't wearing a collar, I wasn't reaching over to shock her or anything like that, to, oh, anytime that I move my hand to reach for one of my zincs, or I'm unlocking the dog gate, or whatever the case is. Whole point being is that what you're going to see is she's quite literally just going to move. Like, she's just going to, like, move. Looks like she's going to go get some water or something. Or maybe adjusting the weird board thing that he has for her to lay on. Definitely doesn't look comfortable enough for a dog to be on. But trying to claim that, it's not a shot collar, guy. I promise you it's a shot collar. It is. Everybody who's ever been able to, everyone who's compared exactly what the collar is to collars online or what they have used. Some of the edits that, like, it's terrible in a lot of ways. It's also kind of, all of the Raiden edits are, yeah, move, electrocution. Well, let's look at whatever reason. Fucking. So, we got this one. So here's good old Holly. Critical.
And instead of doing what I think most people, like not even just streamers, just normal people would do, of like showing, no, look, it's not a shock collar. Obviously, I didn't shock my dog. He instead just brushes it off, saying, nope, it's not a shock collar. You're stupid for thinking that it is. And that's the attitude that his community had as well. Like, oh, you must have psychosis if you think it's a shock collar. Which I think is a little odd because it's the easiest thing in the world to prove, right? You have all these people saying this shit, it's not true. Well, it takes like actually 3 seconds just to unclip that collar and just show, like, hey guys, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea here. This is not a shock collar. Look, here's what it is, and then explain it. Like, I feel like even a non streamer, like a complete normie, average Joe Schmo, if you went to their house and saw that happen, or like, hey, did you just shock that dog? They'd be like, oh my god, no, this is clearly a misunderstanding. No, that's not what happened. Like, I feel like most people would be very quick to show you and prove that it's not a shock collar because it's.
And that is honestly the entire point of why everybody is so pissed off. Not just because of the fact that, the dude is using a shock collar on his dog. It's already controversial enough because I think most people who have dogs, whether they professionally train, an avid dog lover, whatever the case is, pets and animals, um, most people, 90%, I would think, most dog and pet owners would not want to use any sort of device that is going to actually hurt their pet and train it. Like, I get to that reinforcement thing, and for the most part, whenever it comes to psychology of animals, using painful implements in order to gain some sort of reinforcement of a behavior does work. But it comes at a detriment. It comes at a detriment of your animal having, essentially, from that point on, a bit of a distrust of you. It kind of boils back to the whole thing of whenever of the whole proverb or example of whenever you're the dog, like the dog won't do anything while you're looking at it, but the moment you turn your back, it's going to jump. That sort of thing, because they will have that mentality that you are not really necessarily their friend, you're not their buddy, your companion. You are literally in all forms their owner, their master, going to hurt them if you have to. And it doesn't set a good precedent. It really doesn't for any person who considers themselves a dignified person. If you're like, I understand if you want to train an animal, I get that, and there are ways to do it without using a shot collar. But from what we've learned from other clips that we get to, is it doesn't really seem to matter anyway. Because according to actual documented video evidence of what we've seen, the shock collar doesn't really do anything anyway. It hasn't helped any sort of training that this dog has been part of.
It's so quick and so easy to do. And the fact that he doesn't is odd. Like, it is very peculiar. Why wouldn't you in the moment? Like, that's such a natural thing to do, especially for what's easily a slam dunk. Like, you have all these people attacking you, you could easily just come out and fucking slam jam thank you ma'am on them by just being like, nope, it's not a shot collar. Look, here you go. The proof is in the pudding. Behold. Like, it'd be so quick, so simple, and it would be irrefutable. But that didn't happen yesterday. Instead, it was kind of brushed off as like, you've got to be fucking stupid to think that Hasan would shock his dog on stream, and he just kind of propped it up as like the only people that would believe this are like bad people in the first place, or like grifters, this kind of thing. And I just find that to just be so disingenuous because most people are going to see this and it looks like you shock your dog. Given how annoyed you are with the dog, and right before she yelps out in pain, you roll your eyes, you look at something off screen, you clearly are like you are reaching off screen, that is very clear, and then the dog yelps while you were still annoyed, and then instead of doing like what I feel like most dog owners would do, would like check to see like is everything all right? Why'd she just yelp in pain? Instead of doing that, calling her a baby and then mentioning how spoiled she is about roaming the house, like that doesn't compute. If this was her dew claw getting stuck there and then yelping in pain, you would have no idea why she's yelping. Why is your first instinct to call her a baby and then mention how spoiled she is about, your mom letting her roam the house?
And that is exact reason why everybody knows that's not what happened. And you're absolutely fucking stupid if you think it is. I'm sorry, but you're either stupid or you're purposely, which is even more stupid. Because he was very quick, very, very quick to say, oh, it was the dew claw. The dew claw got caught and helped. But you didn't know that at that moment. Because anyone who has a dog, or frankly any animal for that, like my cat over here, Sugar, get away from the closet door, bub. Anyways, um, whenever it comes to dogs and their dew claw, if her dew claw ended up getting caught on that weird board bed, I don't really know what the fuck it is, but that's what it looks like, fucking board. Um, if that's what it was, why is she suddenly a baby for having like actual pain? That is like if her dew claw gets caught and let's say it tore, she wouldn't be a baby for that. It's in legitimate pain. Why are you saying that she's a baby? The reason why you're saying she's a baby, obviously, because you already knew what happened, because you shocked the shit out of her. Piece of shit for doing. That's just my opinion. Anybody who uses shock collars, uh, train their animals in form or fashion, you should not use a shock collar to do so. There are other ways to teach your animals how to behave, whatever sort of fucking fucked up structure that build them in, that you don't need a shock collar. And for a dog of that size, I imagine that the shock that you're going to have to do is pretty prominent just for it to be effective. So that makes it even worse in my eyes. Shouldn't shock collars to shock and hurt your animal. Not a good look, is that? Alright, searching. So there's plenty of people trying to cover for good old Hasan. And one of them, I didn't even know who, I didn't even, still don't know who the person is supposed to be. Apparently, there's like a big Hasan Gooner, Hasan Orbiter, whatever you want to call them. They absolutely fucking love Hasan. And apparently, this particular person that goes over to their house like every fucking day for 2 years, according to their own words. So, how interesting that even the people who hang out around you the most still don't really understand the whole thing and end up just fucking telling on you. So this is QT Cinderella, and she was one of the first people to outright say that the dog's never been shock collared, nothing like that, and apparently is now trying to go the emotional route to get people on a line.
It feels like at this point people would like the dog to have been shocked.
Okay, now we have the emotional, intentional, dishonest manipulation. This is not gonna work, okay? You have to remember, you're in a room full of 20-year-old guys. This is not gonna work on them.
I like,
Because they're gonna
like,
clip
because
it.
they're so, yeah, exactly.
Like
that's
so,
what
like
I'm saying.
into it, like they're so into that clip. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I genuinely,
Yeah.
and I say this, like, I think the clip looks insane. I promise I went and I'm a psycho and I looked at the collar. It doesn't have electric prongs on it. And then he has the thing with the vibrate. And that's all I know.
Cause I have the same exact collar, and I use it on my neck on level 10, and I swear I thought my neck was about to
With the
pop
prongs
off.
off?
No, the prongs on.
Oh.
I felt like my neck was about to explode,
Bro, chat,
and that was
I
level 10.
told you.
This is like a police investigation, and somebody says that the gun was loaded, and then the police come in 3 days later, and they say, well, the gun wasn't loaded. This can't be the guy that did the shooting. This can't be the guy. The gun wasn't loaded. Look at the chat. Yeah, they mad. What clip are these talking about? She's been clocked twice now. Did she test it on herself though?
Say this is my
Bro,
word,
this
bro.
chat.
And it's 100 levels.
It doesn't have the prongs on it.
Yeah, gang, she's going to defend her people. Oh my, man, because he took it out. Oh man.
So once again, it's another argument that has been popping up everywhere, trying to defend good old Hasan. Get back. You're alright. Get back to the bed or I'm gonna shock you, Piker. Is everybody kept saying that the prongs on the shock collar were removed, so therefore it couldn't shock her anyway. But if that's the case, right? Talking about Hasan Piker shocking his dog. Yeah, so it's been dubbed Collargate here recently. But long story short, according to his own words, he's already done that to himself. That's why he doesn't use shock collars. Yet he has a shock collar on his dog. Right? But long story short, he's trying to train a dog to basically be a prop. It lays on a bed somewhere between 6 to 8 hours a day and isn't allowed to move without the fear of being shocked. But the whole point that I was getting at is like one of the things that he had constantly said and still constantly says, although now I think he's having like a minor mental breakdown because everybody keeps bringing it up and he just wants to move on from it, but he can't move on from it because, you have people who are very adamant animal lovers in your community and around the world who watch the shit did. But one of the things that he keeps saying, and what everybody who's trying to defend him, much like this dumb bitch here, is trying to do, is say that, oh well, the electric prongs on the shock collar are removed, so it can't be shocked. But the thing is that if you have a shock collar on and the whole point is to remove the prongs so it doesn't shock, what's the point of buying a shock collar? It doesn't make sense. And the dude is a multimillionaire, so he can't say that it was like the only brand that he could afford. That's obviously true. If he is wanting to use a vibration only collar to teach his animal to behave, then he should get a one just vibration only. You don't have to get one that has multiple settings. It doesn't make sense. Especially not one that you have to jerry rig yourself in order to make it only do one setting over the other. Now that makes no sense. Not with someone who has the financial well to dip his fingers into in order to buy what he would need.
Everybody see through this shit. Oh my god, it's so fat. Wow. This is impressive, man. It really is. This is funny for me. I've never seen the gun loaded.
Yeah. That's another one. I've never seen him shock the dog, therefore it's never happened. That makes no sense. No sense to me. This here, oh no, I love that. Yeah. You gotta love how I can. Okay, this is where he's plead. I think he's starting to have bleeding. Just move on from it.
Listen,
We get to hear fucking Hasan's dull ass board.
I don't know what else to say about this stuff. I don't know.
Listen, guys. Yeah, shock the shit out of me. I abuse my dog on a daily basis. Everybody thinks I'm so sexy. Got so much money. I don't understand why everybody keeps bringing it up. All the people who love me, they know that my dog don't matter. Palestine, guys. Palestine.
It's just, please. Like, I need to do my job. Okay. There are a lot of adults in here, and there are a lot of young people in here as well that want to hear about the news. Okay. They want to hear about what's going on. Defending your favorite streamers, not advocacy or organizing. Please refocus, chatters. It's just, it's utterly irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. I know it sounds like it's the most consequential thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind, and people are really dragging it over and over again. But please, for the love of God, like, it's gonna be all right. Okay, you know the truth. It doesn't matter.
You're fucking so stupid. Like, I do not care for this whole suddenly trying to act like you're this whole weird self-righteous thing. There's other things that are more important than what I did. Quit focusing on me. Everybody, please, for the love of God, stop focusing on me. Focus on what's going on over. Don't you see what's going on over there? Don't you see all the other news that's going on right now? Quit focusing on what I did to my dog. Quit focusing on how fucking big of a piece of shit that I.
Like, what do you want me to do? At this stage,
I know what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Like a 3-step plan. First thing that you need to do is you need to drop this whole dumb lying shit. I know it's very hard for you. Being a narcissistic habitual liar, it's very, very hard to admit that you were wrong. But here's what you do. Step number 1, you admit that you were wrong. I know you've never done that. I know you continue to never do that. And I know you probably never will do that. But if you can't do step 1, this 3-step plan doesn't work. So step number 1 is that you say that you were wrong, that it was a shot collar, that you were pissed off at the time because you were doing what you normally do in all your streams, talking about how capitalism should die and how America needs to burn and fire and all this other shit. All the dumb calls to violence that you've done over and 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 over again. When you were in the heat of the moment, you were angry over some dumb shit, and your dog, who's not a dog to you, cheated just something to make your streams look good. Your dog in the background was just adjusting on her bed. That's all it was. It was maybe she wanted to get a sip of water. Maybe she was like laying on a certain spot wrong, and she shift. I mean, we as humans do that in our own beds. So if you're going to provide a plank for your dog to lay on, I think you should allow your dog to do the same thing, be able to readjust on their own little fucking laying pad. But you were upset because she was moving and you don't like your props to move in your background, so you shocked the shit out of her, called her a baby for no reason, which is doubly insulting to your own little your own dog there, your own pet. But you need to go ahead and admit and say you were sorry for that. Number wrong, that it was a shock collar. Everybody was right. You were upset. You shocked her. Then, if you're able to do that, step number 2 is you do the decent thing. And if you want to keep an animal in your house, not for the sole thing of having, a lovable pet for everybody to have as a family member and to enjoy the companionship of. If you're not wanting an animal for that, you should probably instead do something for yourself that's a little bit more disciplinary, rigid, and structured. Because right now, you just sitting on stream 8 to 12 hours a day apparently ain't. You need to go and find something else. I know you consider yourself a journalist and whatever, and I know that Chink Uger is your uncle or whatever, and you got a big fucking thing going on with that, but you go and do something with that then. Go and be like an actual journalist. Don't just be the definition of a quote-unquote journalist that's been around since like 2015, where you just look up a couple of sources online and therefore you're a journalist. Go and actually expand upon that. And then step 3. Now, if you can do steps 1 and 2, this leads to step 3. Step 3 is at the end of that plan, you just finally you don't really need to make a stream. Probably will. Make a stream and just be like, hey guys, this is my last stream. I've found out that going out and doing other things has been way more beneficial for myself, that I don't need to sit in front of a camera and wish death upon people and hope that the country that I am born in and living in and enjoying all the benefits of burns to the ground. I shouldn't be spouting that sort of thing, but I've been doing it for. Now I'm gonna stop doing it because I've gone out, I've seen the world, I've done other things, I've had a much more disciplined and rigid thing for me to do a whole regiment for myself. So now I don't need this. I don't need Twitch. I don't need to get on here and spout my dumb bullshit. And bye bye. And then you delete your Twitch, or you don't have to delete it. You can just deactivate it, whatever. Never touch it again, and then you'll be fine. That will be your 3-step program. That's what I want you to do. And that's what a lot of people want. But you won't do any of those. Even if steps 1 and 2 would be heavily beneficial for you, not necessarily that you have to do step 3. If you just did the first 2, you'd be fine. But you don't even want to do step 1. You don't even want to look towards step 1 because, that requires you to say that you're wrong. That's something you.
We have entered a new era on the internet. I've been an active watcher now, and I'm honestly disgusted. I've honestly been watching you for a while, and you kind of disappointed me. What do you mean?
See what I mean? What do you mean that you're actively disappointed and disgusted in? What did I do? I don't understand. If you don't understand, then you're just, I don't know, there's no other word for it. You're just stupid. You have to be. You have to be either stupid or willingly ignorant. And honestly, if you're willingly ignorant, you're still just as dumb.
I gotta stop reading this stuff. People like to be a part of something larger. People like to be a part of a larger movement, okay? People like to be a part of a larger movement, and very clearly this is like a big thing that all the normies have gotten on board with.
All the normies. I absolutely love whenever someone is being pointed out as being just without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt wrong. Been pointed out to be absolutely just a waste. They're not the person that they had hoped that people would think that they are, and they finally been pointed out to be the absolute sack of shit that they actually are. And now they're like, they have to put everybody in these categories. Oh, these normies, these people who just don't understand what the hell's going on. These normies.
It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. There's not really anything I can do about it other than just keep doing what I'm doing. And
There is literally one thing you can do about it, and that's just admit the truth. The truth will set you free, but you don't want to do that, because if you tell the truth of exactly what happened, which shocked the shit out of your dog because you were fucking angry, did so out of anger, and you had a shock collar on her to begin with because you're a piece of shit. You can't do that, because doing that would ruin your whole perfect image, which is honestly the dumbest thing to begin with. You try to maintain this narcissistic level of perfection that cannot be attained by anybody in the human race, period. But if that particular image of you is stained in any way, then obviously the other shit that you espouse from that point on can't be taken seriously. That's why you have to be like, oh, these normies, man. Nobody understands me. Perfect.
and hopefully people will realize that there's no accuracy or veracity to the claims being made.
No accuracy or veracity to the claims. Nothing that you have done has taken away from any of the veracity of the claims. As a matter of fact, with how you've changed your story 6 different times, it provides more veracity. Makes it seem like that what everybody thinks is going on is going on. Dog abuse, piece of shit. Sorry that sucks for you, but that's exactly what it's. You know what? I'm not even really sorry about that. Like, more sorry for your dog. I feel 100% more sorry for your dog because just because of the fact that it boils down to this, and this is the simplest. Honestly, this is the simplest explanation. This is what I immediately thought whenever, other than, being just completely upset over the fact that you hurt your dog to begin with. It doesn't really matter that it's supposed to be quote unquote training. You're still hurting the dog. And the videos that I've seen of her as a puppy, putting her in with another dog, and you're quite literally laughing about her getting terrified of the other dog, and you're sitting there giggling like a giddy schoolgirl, hoping that this other dog attacks a puppy, already lets me know exactly what kind of person you are. And quite frankly, from what I have seen, especially of this year, is that you are without a shadow of a doubt going to get your comeuppance. There's a lot of people, especially this year, who have done some shit, have said some shit over the years, that their comeuppance is finally coming around. That's one of why I'm doing this whole Lolcow update thing, because a lot of them are Lolcows here on the internet. I've seen that their comeuppance has finally came around, or has started showing fruits of the labor that it is coming around. And we'll get to that. I think this right here for you is a prime example, because you've been a thorn. You have been a festering. You've been a festering pus on Twitch. You're just this big mound of festering flesh, oozing pus all the time. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't trust Twitch, why they don't want to go on there. And it's one of the reasons why I quit going on Twitch, because I, for the life of me, cannot be a part of any sort of any sort of community that allows, and not only just allows, but enables and props up people who are without a doubt actual evil people. I know that there's a whole thing about good and evil, and that, you know, it could be like it's a good and evil concept. But I think and truly believe that there is genuine goodness and genuine evil that exists in the world. And for me, it has levels. There are people who are outrightly evil, people who murder and people who murder, abuse, and on just a very obvious scale, and they have no regrets. They have no regrets, no remorse. They just, it makes them feel good, so they do it. That's like an outrightly for you. You are on a different level that is just as bad and a slightly more sinister, in the case that you are a bad person. You're an evil person, and you think and you try to pass on what you're doing is actually good. And that's what makes it even more. I'm a good person. I am training this. But the moment if you were any sort of good dog owner, I don't care that you're quote unquote working. I don't care you're in the middle of a fucking stream. If your dog yelps, and if you genuinely had no idea why your dog was yelping, you would be getting up out of that chair going over, oh my god, what's wrong? Are you okay? But no. Instead, you knew exactly what happened. You were abusing the dog actively. And now that it's been caught on stream and we have seen it happen, being thrown up at you so many times, and you being a habitual liar, your story can't hold water because you can't keep it together. First of all, it's not. At first it's this collar can't shock. It's only vibrate. Or sorry. First it's, oh, her dew claw got caught. Then it's, oh, this is an educational collar that vibrates only. Then, oh well, it's not a vibration only. It shocks too, but I took the prongs off so it can't shock. To, oh no, it is the exact it is the exact collar that you're thinking of, but she didn't yelp about that at the time. I was reaching for a zinc pack, or I was hitting the dog gate button, or I was just shifting something off camera. To now, it's boiled down to, just before this breakdown happened, it was, oh no, there's no shock collar at all. I don't know what you're talking about. The shock collar that I'm talking about, she didn't have on during that time, so she obviously shocked. To now, it's just, let's just move on. There's other things that are bigger and greater out there, and everybody wants to be a part of this because they feel like they're a part of something, and they're only hating me in order to fit in with everybody else. It's bullshit. It's a truckload of bullshit, and you're the one to blame. There's just nowhere else to go about it. You are the fucking one to blame. But going back to the original point, your comeuppance is coming around because people have been trying to get you to stop espouting your evil bullshit for a long time. And I am of the opinion that you have free speech to say whatever you can do, and you can basically do and say whatever you want, as long as what you do and say doesn't end up at the detriment or hurt of someone else. And I don't mean emotional hurt, I'm talking like physical. you're free. You have freedom of speech to say what you want, but if your freedom of speech is casting or wishing physical pain upon other people, possible death, then that's where free speech ends. Not freedom of speech at that point. That is you inciting violence. Inciting violence leads to that violence, and that violence could end up in death, and therefore, if you really want to take it on the technicality, you inciting it, you caused it, you're responsible. So that is where that whole freedom of speech thing goes. And trust me, like I said, I'm 100% against the First Amendment. Do what you want, but just know that whenever you say what you want and what you say ends up leading to some sort of violent act that you perpetrate, it's on you. You got to suffer the consequences of your words. And I know that's not I know a lot of people don't like that opinion, but it is the consequences. It is the consequences of the freedoms that we have. Be able to say and do what you want. Just know that whatever you do and say will come back at you, whatever that might be. So we're experiencing, in my opinion, starting to experience the downfall of Hasan. That it may have been, we may have had to take like an Al Capone route, where you can't get him for all the violence inciting that he did. Hey, he hurt a dog. Maybe that's enough. Yeah. Just ridiculous to me that we've had to come this far in order to finally get some eyes on what Hasan is doing and saying, taken up to this point. Glad it's happening, but I'm not glad over the circumstances. Should have been able to do something about. We should have been able to do something about what Hasan says long before that. Like the moment that he was begging for the death of the country, the one that he's living in and taking all of the benefits of being in, and so on and so forth, and wishing death upon politicians, wanting, as he said, capitalist blood to run in the street, which literally just means, people who live in America, they should just die. Like, I don't understand why we had to wait up to finally just be like, yeah, it's enough. But at least we're finally getting there. What matters. Finally get. Anyways, let's move on. Next point of contention. Next thing that I is the Lolcow update. So 9 hours ago, I have to watch that right now. So for those of you who watch this later, that's okay. I kind of use these not only as kind of like interaction live, but videos for later. But those of you who have come to my channel before will remember that I had a big cover of a little channel, not so little, but a little channel called Lolcow Live. I mainly covered it back whenever the fake cancer boogie scare was going on. And needless to say, that what came of that was obviously that it proved that Boogie lied about cancer, about the fact that he told everybody for 2 years, I have cancer, I have cancer, I have cancer. Turns out he doesn't have cancer. He was confronted by quite a few people. Keemstar, Muda from Some Ordinary Gamers, Destiny, another popular former Twitch streamer, and even Mr. Mediker, good old Jim, someone who actually has cancer. All of those people came in and they were trying to get old Boogie to show the records, show us where it says you have cancer, bud. And a bunch of money got thrown out on the table. It was like almost $100,000 that got thrown on the table by the time it was over, something like that. And he refused to do it. And his reasons for refusing to do it was he didn't want to show off his medical records. Turns out it had nothing to really do with that. He didn't want to show it, not because he didn't want to show his medical record. Oh no, he didn't want to show it because he had nothing to show there. And now we are at this point in time that Boogie not only can't say that the whole cancer thing. God, words. We're at the point now that he not only was proven that he didn't have cancer, but he had liar tattooed on his face, which apparently didn't set because it started fading so much that it's basically not even there now. I don't even think it is there now. Now he has liar tattooed on him again, but it's across those chubby sausages, those fingers. And now we have went from that to Lolcow Live essentially growing up to a certain point. I think it's like 90 some odd thousand subscribers. Then they kind of hang there because nothing that they do now is really worth a shit because it turned into the Punish Boogie and Wings show to Wings quitting and then coming back and then Wings quitting again. So now every single one of their quote unquote big shows is all the same. It's all about, oh, this host is cheating with this person. Oh, this host has cheated on this person. Oh, this host was lying about this host. And all the things that they do and they act and they show and I don't even know what you want to call it. It's turned into a shit show because it's all fake. Like you can just vehemently tell, all fake. None of it really fucking. Let's see.
What? And he might have deleted this video.
There we go. Oh, I see. All right, cool. That's why. All right.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. He did not delete it. It got if YouTube itself, and I can't load a fucking YouTube video. I swear to God, I'll crash out like you've never fucking seen crash out. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I had to deal with that dumb motherfucker all day. Yes, sir.
Don't crash out. Just let it load. Goose Fabra.
Goose Fabra. Thank you, Billy. That's why I personally think you would make a good president. That's why I personally think you would make a good president. He deleted it. He must have deleted it. It's listed. It's unlisted.
Well, this is Mau Mau. He reposted.
Well, why would Mau Mau have deleted it?
Yeah, Mau Mau wouldn't have deleted it, right?
What is?
Doesn't make sense.
What is this one gonna work? Is this one work?
Oh my goodness.
I think it's funny. We got to see a little bit of the script there pop up. Boogie showed a little bit of the behind the scenes script there.
What the
Is YouTube shitting the bed?
flying? What the flying fuck, dude? I'm trying to do a goddamn show. Holy shit. Rastov fucking leaves me. Scooter fucking leaves me. Is Scooter even sick? Is anybody even fucking sick? Are they just faking shit so they don't have to be here anymore? Holy goddamn fucking hell. God damn it. Okay, slip.
I gotta say that one of my favorite things about the absolute shit stain that is Lolcow universe is the fact that Boogie literally crashes out every single goddamn stream that he's on. He's yelling about some dumb shit. And there's no reason for him to do it other than him just wanting to really hear himself talk. He has been pretty, out of all things, he has been pretty honest about that at least. Loves to hear himself talk. He likes, whether it be good or bad, he doesn't really give a shit. Right in the middle, and he's making money.
Mal.
David.
Here we go.
Yeah, I came in because I thought that YouTube was actually down, but no, it's good. Okay.
I think this is really funny. I watched this earlier. If it works, God, please work. Please.
Come on.
Please.
Load up.
While even watching YouTube, I have an external app that I use my in, and it's to actually work better than watching it in Google Edge or. I don't know what the fuck you all watch your YouTube. I think the external app's probably the best option I've watched. I can't get over fucking tap.
We're on YouTube. You think YouTube would work?
Right. If we're working on YouTube, why would YouTube not work for YouTube when we're YouTubing?
You think this is Rastov buffering?
One thing I have to say though, Billy the Freak, I watched him back whenever Drunken Peasants, and I know they had a whole little thing that they were doing. Pretty sure he's on there from time to time. I haven't watched the Drunken Peasants like since they went to go do an interview with Onisi. That was like the last episode. Separation. Whatever. Anyways, one thing I'm happy to see is that Billy seems to be doing pretty good with health. I know he dropped a shit ton of weight. Kudos to you. Glad that you're doing a lot better than fucking Book.
Are they
buffering?
I can't see chat right now because the window's over here.
Oh yeah, they're buffering.
Are they Please.
Yeah, they're typing the buffers. They're all over Boogie.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Please fuck off with the buffering shit.
There's a lot of them.
This video is really quiet for me. It's quiet for me. So if it's quiet for me, it might be quiet for you. Motherfucking cocksucker. Motherfucker. I'm supposed to be the clown. I'm supposed to be the retard. Do you understand? I'm this guy. I'm this fucking guy. I'm this fucking guy. I'm the guy who takes shit, throws it around. I'm not the fucking hoe.
No!
Breaks shit. I'm the guy that fucking breaks shit. I'm the
Stop!
guy who does the hosting. Why the fuck, Scooter? God damn it, Rastov. God damn it. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I'm fucking out of tissues now. Gotta blow.
I could blow your boogies.
I've been sick since I got home. The whole fucking house is sick. Got fucking snot running out of my goddamn nose. And YouTube doesn't work, which is why I skipped it. Because I knew.
Right now, I think Boogie is trying to lean in the trying to once more reach back and lean past what passes as comedy. Because right now he's tending to crash out and screaming and hollering and crying. But it's pretty obvious that the screaming and hollering that he's doing is like angry video game nerd levels of screaming. Just yell "God damn it" over and over. That's funny. I'm gonna yell "fuck" over and over again. Show exactly how angry. That'll be funny, right?
Knew it was a YouTube video, which, Billy, is why I was scrolling past it. I was looking for Twitter links.
Hey, Boogie.
But thank you
Boogie.
for drawing attention to the fact that I can't do a fucking show. 520s. As soon as we get 520s, I'll end the fucking stream.
So you can eat your wings?
Yes. Yes. Give me 520s. I will fucking hit end right now. Put your money where your mouth is. There's your goal, Danny. I will make fucking bus start early every
I'll tell you what, anybody who drops by here, you donate me $20 5 times, I'll end my stream.
goddamn time. Well, God, they're really going to do it. He better
Wow,
start
they
up bus
really
now. But Danny's really going to do it. Jesus
We've
Christ.
had bad luck.
Better start that bus.
We've had bad luck on Monday, the worst day in the LCU.
Oh.
Rastov's gone, Scooter's gone, YouTube is
Super
taking
chatted $19.
Keen is going to fuck me up. Keen is going to fuck me up
We
for ending
need
early,
to
too. But I got to end
This
it
will
now.
resolve everything,
I got
okay?
fuck, dude. Keem is going to yell at me for ending it early. He's going to be like, what the fuck did you do? You didn't hit member targets. You didn't hit. Fuck it, Keem. Fuck it, Keem. Good luck, Bus. Good luck with this audience. I'm going to make sure they're live because I don't want to. Are you live? Did you go live? Did you listen? I hope he hit the fucking live button. It's not that hard. Hit the goddamn thing. Why are they not live? I don't fuck it. I am not going to scam the fans. Oh my God. I just look what happened when I clicked on their stream. Look what happened when I clicked on their stream. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay. There it is. 3 minutes. I don't know why they didn't start. I'm in the stream. Sorry, bud.
Okay, I thought that was something a little different. That's all. See. Yeah, Lolcow Live has been just constantly. I don't know how many rock bottoms they got to be hitting fucking bedrock at this. But after the whole fake cancer boogie thing, they have literally anything along the same lines as that, because at least one thing was for certain with the fake cancer. Boogie was actually lying about it. And he actually got exposed to be the lying scumfuck that he is. So beyond that point, everything that they've ever done is just overdone scripted garbage. Everybody's cheating on everybody, everybody's hitting on this person, everybody wants this person not to stop dating this person to get divorced or whatever. And it just doesn't work because it's the same story but with different actors playing the roles. And after doing it the first time, people might have been like, "Oh shit, maybe Boogie did cheat on Desi. Let's see what happened." But then you do it 4 times in a row, and Desi just keeps coming back, not really giving a shit, obviously, that Boogie's cheating. So clearly it's not real. Because you would think if somebody comes in and says, hey, if you really cheated on me, I'm leaving. And then you find out, oh shit, they may have actually cheated. It should be it right there. Be like, okay, I'm leaving. But instead, it's, especially with the shit that Boogie said about Desi, like, whether it's supposed to be an act or not, you would think that that would have been like he quite literally said that whenever the whole fake, obviously fake Boogie cheat thing was happening, like, oh, if Desi walks out this door right now and she leaves me, I don't care if you all run a train on her. It's like, dude, if I was in any relationship and my partner said that about me, I'd just be done. It didn't matter it wouldn't matter the context, as it sounded pretty legit. But going back to that whole comeuppance thing, Lolcow Live is probably going to be done within a year because they have nothing new. They have nothing new. They constantly ask shit. You can only punish Boogie so many times until eventually people are just like, okay, what are we gonna have him do? He's gonna carry bricks across his yard again. All right, well, we like rehashing the same thing doesn't work if you have the same audience over and over. You were kind of using a wrestling analogy, like wrestling. Going to a wrestling analogy, if you were running a company that went to different places in the United States, for example, if your main area was, let's say your main area is like in Memphis, Tennessee, so Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, that area. You could use the same storyline for all three places, and it be new for the people in those places, because you would be, especially if you're going from state to state, right? Do it once in Tennessee, once in Kentucky, and then Florida. It's going to be an all new audience every time, so it's still fresh for them, even though you're rehashing the same thing. But in this case, sticking with this analogy, these people are like early. These are like early NWA, so you're staying only in Atlanta, Georgia. You have an Atlanta, and you have that same audience that comes in for every single show. The first show that you do, there's a cheating arc where your champion is cheating on his wife or something. And then the next time that it comes around, you run that for 6 months, and then you run that for 6 months, and then the next 6 months you're like, oh shit, there's a new champion. He happens to be cheating on his wife. It's like, oh, haven't we already done? And then you go through the whole spiel again. Just, a different champion is going through it. Like, okay, well, we've seen this before. We're not coming back until you all do. And that's what, unfortunately, Lolcow Live can't do, because despite the fact that they're locals and people watch them, quite literally just hate watch them, and that's the whole reason that they're doing it. You get to a point where even hate watching starts to get dull, because there's really nothing Lolcow. So yeah, Lolcow Live, I think, is going to be done within a year, maybe less. But another set of locales that was something that I have kept, and that's good old Shanny and Rev. So earlier today, Rev's channel went down, and then just a few hours ago, back up. So it's little bit of a curiosity as to why that was. Down, then it's back up. Fucking Rev turned in. I don't know what's going on here. Like, Rev was already kind of had like tweaker energy, and now it's been. I think it's even worse than what it was. Because now not only does he have the tweak, kind of looking at too, just the energy itself, and how, whew, looking like a really like a tweaked out squirrel. But on top of that, Shani is still doing her whole I was an LK ultra. But there's a few people that I watch who cover Shani and Rick. So shout outs to them. BGTV for one, Ella Petty, and Carrie. All are very. But here recently, because of the whole MK Ultra thing, Shani now believes, or is reiterating the belief that she. Let's watch that. Okay, Ella. Hi. Raw video. Her shit.
Get that?
One of the things.
Do you get that? Do you get
Exactly what happened. Whenever you mix much caffeine.
you get it?
I really need to find like a raw video. I don't want. I really, really don't have to go to their main. Graveyard Flowers is an. I don't know. I just know pretty good about covering shit. Basic. uh, one of the things that really bothers me about Shanny Rev is not the fact that they're all cows. One of the things that has constantly bothered me is that they will constantly shit on psychology and the psychological or into psychology. I personally studied in psychology for well over a decade. And anytime that they can, they will shit all over psychology. Oh, these people think they're think that they're sitting there with their psychological, and they're doing that psychological talk on fuck psychology and psychologists. Like, okay, say that, but then just as soon as you get the chance, start bringing up my MP, my BPD, my borderline, my bipolar. You can't shit on the study of mental illness and then start using mental illness as your fucking shield. So here's one that was from Graveyard Flowers. Shout outs to them. Thank you.
I didn't cheat you.
I literally can't handle it, folks.
Oh shit, he's his Ravina shit.
Welcome to Revelation News TV, and we have an absolute abomination of a nation. For the sake of levity, this needs to be understood and played.
Okay, I keep forgetting that whenever it comes to fucking Jason, Revelation, 90% political or...
Here we go. Ready for this?
President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all.
Watch this. Oh my God. Do you see this?
All over the place. You see.
Do you see this absolute terrorist activity in the streets of Portland?
Okay. I'm seeing the humor.
Portland. You have an individual that has decided that in the season of, you would say, Halloweenish, we are going to dress in a raccoon outfit.
And just
all right, do we see that? I want to make you understand how serious this fucking situation is that you have.
This right here is what this right here is. For people like Jason, they don't really understand humor if it's not explained to them beforehand. Like, it's pretty obvious that this is like a humorous video. I'm already seeing the humor. Like, having this fucking serious, we're gonna end the violence in Portland. You show people in furry costumes. It's like the the inflatable mascot costumes. That's funny to me. Like, I see the humor in it, but they, like I said, they don't really understand humor unless it's explained to them. So now he's just using this video to try to make Trump look retarded, which honestly the whole point of the person who originally edited it. They're trying to make fun of what is honestly a more darker situation. Because I live over here in Oregon, and the shit that goes on in Portland on a daily, let alone what's going on recently. The shit that goes on in Portland on a daily is already psychotic enough. The fact that they have recently had a bunch of riots and stuff going on up there, which has been happening honestly since Trump got elected. So it's not even necessarily quote unquote his fault. It's just the fact that he's in office. Portland has turned on its.
This network
Look, you
of
have
Antifa
people
is just as
trying to
sophisticated.
give flowers to police. This is highly, really dangerous activity. Okay?
As MS-13, as TVA, as ISIS.
Okay, we have a frog person in front of what you would call jackbooted thugs here, thrusting itself. Okay.
And also one thing about Revelation, Jason's really big on Anyways, Revelation News, good old Jason is very big on playing captain op. So everything that you see in front of you, he has to reiterate and explain.
Okay. This is clearly like the same thing as any action that you might see from ISIS or Hezbollah. We all know they love dressing up like frogs and thrusting themselves in front of authority figures. So, like, I just want you to understand the level of
Hezbollah,
wow.
Hamas, is all of them. They are just as dangerous. They have an agenda to destroy us, just like the other terrorists we've dealt with for.
All right, this is America. Do you understand that? I don't think we should be able to. I mean, I think Trump needs to clean this up. It's pretty obvious, right? There's no way you can have this type of activity going on in the country where you have people pretty close.
Is that a fucking Bruce Lee shirt? Okay. All right, just for that, I'm gonna.
To Halloween, in Portland, dressing up as a raccoon or a frog, and especially the fact that they're in front of a policeman and thrusting like this. It's clearly the same type of activity that you might see during some sort of horrible revolt by ISIS, or you could even say the horrible, horrible terrorist organization called Hamas that took the.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they don't see Hamas as a Hillman Shanny doesn't see Hamas as a terrorist organization. You know, despite the fact that they have literally, killed entire families, children, just for the sake of changing a government. Absolute definition of a terrorist.
Israeli hostages, and the Israeli hostages, upon release, actually kiss the heads of the Hamas, horrible, oppressive Hamas guys. The Israeli hostages are smiling with them and giving them a hug and kissing them, saying, "That's my brother," and shaking their hands.
Yeah, and who implemented that whole entire piece? Who helped mediate that? Not going to talk about that?
It's almost to the point now that you have to have, it has to be a parody. Like, I don't know, how can I talk to you about this seriously at this point? It's so clear what the fuck is happening.
Okay, how clear is it?
You have an occupying force in Israel that will not stop. They are not going to stop until every single bit of blood that could be spilt in that area is spilt and gone, and they can take that land and do what they've wanted to do with it, which is they're going to give parts of it to American Jews living in Florida. They're going to give parts of it to Trump, to have the Trump Gaza Riviera Resort. It's going to be the most incredible, bigly good thing you've ever seen, folks.
Okay. Okay. It's definitely a shot at Trump. Never heard that before, to be honest. But okay.
In the Middle East, the Trump Riviera. Can you understand that you're dealing with people that they think it's absolutely fine to kill babies for the sake of land? This is modern day This is no different than the natives in this country and what the colonizers did to the natives in this country. We didn't kill them all, though. If we keep allowing this to happen every day, 24-hour period of more genocide, there's going to be not one Palestinian left.
I love how both Hillman and Shanny have to compare mass atrocities that are going on in other places back to what America did to the natives, mainly because of the fact that Shanny constantly likes to throw that whole she got native blood in her thing, that apparently she's from like 3, 4 to 5. By the end of it, she might have something to do with all of the Native American tribes that exist in North America. But she has said that she is a part of like 3 different native tribes by blood, which doesn't really make sense. I mean, you can still be native, that's fine. Like, if she claimed that she was part of one particular tribe, I would understand, because that would make sense, especially if that tribe was pretty prevalent in the area of America that she grew up in. But not at one point to say you're Blackfoot, next one to say you're Sioux, the next one to say you're a at one point she might say she's fucking Lens Pence, who knows, or Les Pence. Oh, what is it? No, Nez Pence. Nez Pence.
That is that is the biggest single issue in the country today. Is the genocide in Israel? There's
Rev, quit looking at yourself and talk to the camera. If you're trying to pretend that you're talking to an audience, you need to look at the camera. Quit looking in the receiver where you can see yourself constantly. You and Shani do that all the time. You're like the most vain people that I've ever seen. And you claim to be good, godly, yet you show off like 3 major deadly sins at all times. Well, they're fucking, 4 actually. Think about it. And then depending on the day, 5 of them. The ones that you all show all the time, you all are vain, are greedy, gluttonous, lustful. Then whenever you got Shani going on her fucking bill, or if Rev is for whatever reason fucking upset, then it turns into they display all of those plus wrath. And then, depending on who they're talking about, they show envy too. These people are literally the 7 deadly sins incarnated.
There's nothing that even comes close to being a more big story.
Oh, and before I say that, and then one of them possibly stumble upon this or get linked back to this, and they say, "Oh, he didn't mention all 7. He forgot sloth." No, sloth comes with, quite literally, with the embodiment of you both. Shani constantly is slothful. So slothful she can barely move now. She's so slothful that she's so slothful that helped with her gluttony. So that made her even more slothful. Then on top of that, she became envious of everybody else who wasn't slothful. But then she was lustful to you, and then her lustfulness showed her vanity. And then anytime that anybody does anything against her, there's the wrath that I don't think I missed it. Wrath, gluttony, sloth, lust, vanity. One more. The last one. I'll figure it out.
I don't care what you say about Epstein. Epstein is Epstein stuff, and yeah, we want to know about the Epstein stuff, and we want those women that were brave enough to go up on Capitol Hill and do what they did. We want them vindicated, and we want the victims of that disgusting freak to be fully have justice done for them, which means we find every single motherfucker that we can, that we know, have proof of that they hurt those girls, and we get them in jail. Period. End of story. No statute of limitation, because you violated minors, and there should be no statute of limitation on that. Okay? So that's Epstein. This makes Epstein look like a car crash story. You have nothing that's been like this since World War II with the Holocaust. And it's supposed Jews that are doing this to the Palestinians, and I'm telling you that's a lie. They're not Jews. They are Baalist Satanists, and they call themselves the cult of Baal, and they are as far from Mosaic Judaism as west to east. They have absolutely nothing to do with Moses, the Torah, the Ten Commandments, anything having to do with what you read in the Old Testament. The prophets of Yahweh, the Hebrew prophets, were fighting the God of Bibi Netanyahu. The prophets of the Bible were fighting the God of Bibi Netanyahu. I had to repeat that. The prophet Elijah saw it, the prophets of Baal in the groves, and they were cutting themselves, saying that their God was going to do some great feat. And Elijah comes by and says, "You guys are useless sacks of shit. Your God is pathetic. You can go piss against the wall. I'm going to show you something." And then he took water and put it in a basin, and he said, "I'm going to call it fire down from heaven, and it's going to consume the water in my well. You watch." And it happened. The prophets of Baal were doing their thing. They were cutting themselves and going, "Oh my God, we have to. Our God is going to do some amazing feat. You just watch this," and their God did nothing. Nothing happened for their. We're going to create water from nothing. We're going to create fire from nothing, and their God did nothing.
Okay, and that relates back to what we were talking about, because the people that are doing Palestine are not Jews claimed to be, because of the fact that they're Baal Satanists telling this story to prove that Baal's not as powerful as God. Okay? Hoping that was the case. What is that? What does that have to do with someone dressed up as a frog?
Elijah's God, he poured the water and fire fell from heaven and consumed the water. And he told him, "Go piss against the wall. Your God is worth shit."
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said. Go piss.
We need modern Elijahs to tell these satanic, oh my God, there's no words. You watch these people on YouTube channels trying to justify a genocide. You see these people trying to do anything they can to talk around the issue of bombed babies and go.
I don't think anybody would be trying to talk circles around it. Obviously, did and does happen. That's obviously happened. Talked about any time that the Palestinian conflict. So I'm not understanding. I'm not under. Are you bringing this all up because they're talking about the riots and you're trying to say that the riots in Portland are not as important as saying that as the genocide that's going on in Palestine? Because it seems like that's what's going on. You see how this is all starting. Hasan used the same fucking excuse for people talking about him shocking his. There's a massacre going on in Palestine. Why are you all worried about my dog?
No, Israel. But wait a minute, bombed babies. No, Israel. Yeah, but wait a minute, bombed babies. No, Holocaust, Hitler. You're an anti-Semite. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be straight up with this one. It ain't gonna be a long one. I
hope not.
There's a conflagration of events.
You know what? I'm not gonna say anything just yet. Is that a word? Is it wrong? No. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry. This is gonna bug. Okay, so conflagration is not good. Glad that I did.
There's a conflagration of events.
Okay, not a word. Good.
They're just tossing a bunch of fucking shit all at once to try their best to overwhelm you to the point where you're just going, well, I'm not going to listen to any of it.
What you should have said there, instead of saying a conflagration of, probably should have said something like like there is a catastrophizing of events. Maybe if you're trying to say that it's confusing, just say a confusion of events. They're trying to poison the well. They're throwing too much out at one time. There's a misconception something like.
But the country's standing up. It seems to me that there have been moves that are just way too much now, and literally you're having protests start. They're just firing up, aren't they?
Yeah.
But the main story here, other than Gaza, which is the number one story, West Bank and Gaza and the genocide in Israel is the biggest story on the planet, barring nothing. That's number one by a lot. But then right underneath it is the fact that you have Donald John Trump that is a literal Stalin. That's who I see the most in.
Okay. This constant comparison between Trump and Hitler or Trump and Stalin to me it's such a pet peeve because it actually completely completely ruins the comparison by definition. Because nothing that Trump has done thus far, whether you want to go back to his first 4 years or these ones that we're going through right now, has been close to what Stalin and Hitler did whenever they reached power in their country. And bar none, nothing that he has done has reached that level. And you can try to say that somehow that equates back to the whole Palestine thing. But the main problem with that is, with your comparison, is that if you were to make that work, you would have to say that he himself is causing the genocide in Palestine, causing the genocide in Gaza. You would have to say that he himself has ordered that to happen, and therefore it's happening in order for your technology to. But he's never done that. And you could say that, oh well, that we've been given aid to Israel, and that's why. But if you say that, then you got to go back and look at basically every president that we've had. I'm pretty sure up to Clinton, because all of them provided financial aid to, and we have been providing aid to Israel ever since Israel was established, as far as I'm aware. So why is Donald Trump being centered out here? The only reason being picked on in this case is because right now he's the one in power that's the one to shit on. Because back whenever Biden was in office, these two were doing the same thing. The only difference is that they were being a little bit softer. They were more making fun of the fact that the openly had and obviously had some memory loss and kind of like early dementia signs, that sort of thing. And then whenever Kamala took his place, oh my God, these two were like bouncing up and down. They were hoping for her to win against Trump just so that they could have that moment that all seemed like everybody who kind of side with the left side of politics wants is there to be a Democratic woman president, which if there is one, that's awesome. I'm not gonna shit on it. If she does good for the country, good. That's all that I care about. But something that like I've noticed that both them and a lot of people on the left kind of like fantasy. They're one of their be all end alls of like American politics, woman president, which there will be one day. I'm, however, seeing that it's probably won't be on the left side. I think out of and maybe some twist of irony, it'll probably be a Republican woman president, and whenever that happens, we're going to see a lot of people who are on the extreme far left side of politics not know what to do, because it'll be one of those things where it's a woman president, it's what they've always wanted, but they're a Republican, so they're going to have to like they'll essentially have to resort to backhanded compliments all the time. Like, they'll have to give her an insult sandwich, compliment her, insult her, then compliment her. Oh, you're a great politician. It fucking sucks that you're a goddamn red-blooded right-wing Republican bitch, but goddamn are you. That's exactly what they're gonna have to.
In Trump, it's not Alois Adolf. It's not Mao Zedong. It's Stalin. He is definitely now getting his political enemies out of the way. He is putting the military in major cities to build a police state that can be deployed anywhere he needs to really quick. He is literally just disappearing people from the streets of America. If you are a quote-unquote undesirable to the regime, you have the threat of being summarily disappeared from the country.
Give me examples. See, whenever you say shit like that, you can't just say they're disappearing people and then you have to expect everybody to listen to you. You gotta give an example. Who the fuck have we heard of that we have not heard of again since whenever this quote unquote police state happened? Give me an example of someone who's
Okay, this is why he wants birthright citizenship gone, because guess what? You will have to immediately apply for citizenship. Every American, there's going to be no American citizens for a while.
How? Birthright citizenship that he is even explained only comes with people who have crossed the border. So exactly how does that work for all citizens? Are you saying that all citizens, by some sort of convoluted definition, are illegal? Because if that is the case, then we're going back to even further back to say that the only people who are actually citizens of the nation are Native Americans. Or is that the whole idea? Because if that's the whole idea, then unfortunately you and Shani are not going to be part of that, because Shani claims that she's from 3 different tribes, which is already going to be a no-go. And I guarantee if she gets her fucking DNA test done and it turns out that she's not at least 1/16 Native American, which is supposed to be in order to get anything from anyone from any tribe, then you all are going to be just as fucked as everyone else. That includes me, because I don't have enough Native American blood in my lineage to claim anything like that. But this whole, there's going to be no native birth citizens. That's only for illegal immigrants. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
Citizenship. Every American, there's going to be no American citizens for a while, if that went through, because we're all citizens that were born here. We're citizens by birthright citizenship. So if that goes away, are we grandfathered in as already citizens? I don't think so.
You're, once again, reading way too far into it. It has nothing to do with every American citizen, only illegal immigrants.
So every American will have to apply for citizenship. Do you see? He is ending the country. And
I see that you're fucking stupid.
It's a projected, here's one step, here's another step, here's another step, but they're quick steps. It's sloppy as fuck too, which is why the Congress has to come together, get the Joint Chiefs of Staff together, have the Congress do it, have the Congress organize it. Holy shit, I just said Congress organize something. Never mind. No, we need to get the Joint Chiefs of Staff together, minus the President and the rest of the President. And then we have to get all of the rest of the chain of command of succession of president that it's not MAGA people. I really think we need an interim military government, and yeah, you'll probably have martial law for a short time, but we have a military rule in D.C. for a short interim time. We have new elections. The MAGA stuff, you have to, I think you need to start viewing MAGA as sort of almost soft enemy of the state.
Okay. I don't know how that would... I mean, I get it. I don't really agree with the whole full-blown MAGA thing. I am of the opinion that if you consider yourself like alt-right, MAGA, whatever, that you probably are, in some form or fashion, no different than someone who is a extreme leftist. Because if you're extreme anything, you're a far leftist or far on the right, you are basically bad from just an opposite. No, there is no white area when it comes to that. It's all bad. But I don't know if you would benefit from declaring people who consider themselves MAGA to soft enemies of the state. Sounds like that would just cause more problems.
Okay, we can't trust people that are going to have loyalty to Führer, Trump.
Okay. I'm just gonna let that stew.
So we need the removal of the main leadership in the country, arrests for violation of the Constitution. They need to be arrested, put in some holding for now.
What violations of the Constitution has Trump did? That's what I'm curious. Because if we immediately start going back to the whole citizen thing, then the problem is because he wants to have illegal aliens, illegal immigrants come in the right way. And there are processes that can be done quick and long. Obviously, different ways. Exemptions. There's a process to doing all that. So, is that the violations that we're hearing? Because I'm not hearing.
And then we need the military to step in temporarily for leadership. You say, I guess the head, I don't know how this would work because I'm not that learned in.
They're not that learned in a lot of things. To give you an idea, if you were to take the chain of command all the way down to where the military would have to take over, then you would have to have either the Secretary of State, or if we're talking strictly military, you would have to have a 5-star general would need to be the temporary leader. Because 5-star general, there is nothing higher. So that's who would have to run the country.
Crisis government. You're going to have COG 2, the continuity government shit kicking in, and that's where you get the threat of a false flag terror event or a false flag nuke. When people like Cheney come in and go, oh, our rule is fucked, it's over, pull the nuke. Okay, that could happen anytime. That could happen now. That could happen from now until we're out of this very weird space of this government that's clearly authoritarian, totalitarian, fascist state.
Not, actually. There's nothing about that that's clear. He's deployed military and homeland, what is it, Homeland Defense? No, military and National Guard. Because he's deployed some of those military assets to certain parts of the country in order to fight back against the riots that are going on there. Therefore, we're in a totalitarian fascist. I think all these words, totalitarian, authoritarian, fascist, communist, it starts to lose all of its meaning because everybody's very quick to throw out these whenever they don't know exactly what they mean. And they don't apply them to the actual examples that would match the definition of what they're aiming. Because nowadays we have literal fascists, people who believe in literal fascist ideology, silencing people by force and calling them fascists. It's starting to turn into a very weird dynamic. It would be the equivalent. It would be the equivalent of someone of like, it would be the equivalent of like an old Viking raiding party going into a village. And they go into the village and they raid and kill everything. And then, before leaving, the defense force of that village comes in and raids and drives the raiders back. And then the raiders say, "You should stop raiding our village. These people are raiding our village." Well, that's what you just got through doing. So how can you tell me that I'm doing that whenever you just did it? You're the bad person here. I'm defending myself. No, you're the evil raider. This is our village. No, it's not. Nothing here matches you.
With America is no longer.
Actually, let me give a better modern day example. That would be about like if someone broke into your house and they are robbing your house. They're taking all of your valuables. And then, as a retaliation, you somehow incapacitate them. Shoot them in the leg, I don't know, knock them out, something. And upon being able to coherently speak again, you've taken back your valuables, and then they say, "You're robbing me. You're a robber. You broke into my house and you're robbing me. How? And I took back what is mine. How am I robbing? How am I a robber?" Well, you just took the possessions that I just took off of you. You're a robber. That is the equivalent of what we're doing here whenever we're talking about people calling other people fascists whenever they're already purporting and doing fascist. A fascist silences you, tries to get you to not talk whenever you start purporting political ideas that they don't like. That's what fascism is. And that is exactly what people have already been doing while claiming that other people are fascist. Absolutely.
Longer a republic. It's no longer.
What? Oh, what'd you need? Okay. I can go on a small break. Yeah. Small break, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, you're good. Alright. So I will take a short break. I need kit. Whilst that is going. Back. Oh. Alright, so I shall.
thought that? Not me. I guess you know who these guys are now? 'Cause I certainly do. I don't want to know them. And yep, I may be king. I have all the money in the world. And all the land. And all that stuff. But you know, I don't really think I want it. I just want to go home. With Barry. And, I don't know, have a bottle of beer. It's not gonna happen. It's true what they say. The grass is always greener. And you don't really know what it is you have until it's gone. 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 maestro! Don't you think that's a little bit too dramatic? Can you give me something with a bit more of a beat? Yeah, that's better.
And I fucking rich.
What you would call a democracy. We are now an authoritarian fascist dictatorship where you have Orange Hitler saying, look, what I want is what's going to be. If you don't like that, I have presidential power. That means I have immunity. I can literally do something like that in the Oval Office, and I am immune because the Supreme Court said I can literally just break the law and be immune.
Yeah, they did. I don't know what it is with, like, it's been more prominently with just Trump himself, I've noticed. But, like, no other presidential figure within the last, yeah, within, like, even whenever Trump was in the first time, he wasn't getting as, I think it's just because of, I think a lot of people are upset because he did go to court. He did have some indictments on him, and because of the fact that he still won, beat Harris, everybody who voting for, really hoping and voting for Harris, and lost. Absolutely set over. But the thing is that even whether you like the dude or not, you got to give credit where credit is. And I will continue to say that about any of our elected officials or anybody. Whatever. You got to give credit where credit is due. So far, he has worked pretty vehemently to end the conflicts that are in, like, Ukraine and Russia. He has recently ended the conflict between, Gaza Hamas thing. So, who knows? If he ends up getting a ceasefire with the whole Israel-Palestine thing. I mean, what what happens then is this communist, fascist Stalin guy, which makes no sense because you can't say fascist and communist in the same breath and think that it doesn't. But whatever.
This is game over level shit. So this has to happen with the Joint Chiefs. It's the only way. The impeachment's not going to happen. It's not fast enough anyway. Things are going so fast, and things are flying off the handle with the international political, geopolitical situation is getting so insane. And the world's revolting against this shit with Israel. Israel is becoming the burdensome stone that no nation can pick up now. That America's almost to the point where they're picking that, they're still holding the stone. Like Jesus, no more. Like even Trump said, we're not going to do anymore, but he didn't mean that. He is going to be with Bibi to the end because they're Masonic brothers, and that's absolutely part of the plan here. So if you think that Donald's good and he's going to get, no, you're wrong. He's going to march us right into this. And because it's all in the Bible, guys, if you don't understand that, all this. Bibi's the king of the North, I think. And he wants to take...
And that is exactly where not only am I going to dip out of this video, but that is where it always leads back to. Somehow this is some sort of fucking connection to the Bible in it. Because anything you read from any religious text, anywhere, if you read into it enough, any of it can match anything. I am still upset over the fact that back whenever Obama was president, I still remember whenever he first got elected, there was an entire group of my high school who all came in wearing black shirts, black pants, their backpacks were black, and if they were female, they wore black makeup to accentuate their eyes, man. And every single one of them walked the hallways, and I remember my homeroom teacher asking, "What do these black shirts mean? What's with the black shirts, the black attire, the black makeup?" And they said, "This is the death of America, because if you read the Bible, Obama is the Antichrist." I still remember so many people claiming that, but nobody remembers talking about how George W. Bush supposedly went through a Bohemian Grove ritual that made him the fucking dictator for life. Nobody remembers that shit. But everybody remembers whenever a dude in fucking spray tan on his face, wearing a bad toupee, looks like a bad toupee, did a bunch of good shit, but then because of the fact that they have to once more push it back to some sort of biblical thing, that somehow that no matter how much good he does, he's still evil. No. I don't follow that. I don't align with that. And you can fuck off if you, because that's just absolute. Oh, they're doing nothing but good. They must be evil. This is the reason why people don't do good shit. And it goes with anybody. It's not just the president. It goes with anybody. Can't do good shit, because the moment you do good shit, you do it. So, why even worry? Alright, so I've updated you all and pretty much talk about it. Whole point being is that what can we come away with it? Well, come away with Hasan Piker, definitely. Absolutely. Fuck that dude. We can say that Lolcow Live is probably going to be done next half, maybe at most. I would say in the next. And then we have, of course, our two favorite crackhead Lolcows. Still being crackhead Lolcows. One of them, who, as of recently, I say that Revelina thing, because now it would seem that good old Rev identifies himself whenever all of his makeup and everything he identifies as a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old girl, specific. People are just gross. And the bad thing about, the worst thing, really, about the Shani Rev thing is the fact that I have a very minuscule past with Jason. And that minuscule past was when he was sane, for the most part, I would think. He was still heavily religious. That was fine. But he was thought out. He actually looked into stuff. He was funny. He cared, seemingly, more about other people. But not anymore. Him and Shani have revealed themselves, in my opinion, to be the walking manifestations of the seven deadly sins. So, if you enjoyed this stream, or if you're watching this later and you think that went I thank you for stopping by, saying hello. Do what YouTube wants you to do. And drop a comment and a like. If you didn't like it, drop a dislike. I don't know if this is the beginning of anything, I doubt it. But I will hopefully soon, hopefully before Halloween. And maybe we can do some sort of like pre-Halloween. Might not be the same day, but it'll be around that time. So, once again, thank you all for coming in, stopping by. Do all that YouTube stuff. If you're feeling extra generous, donate to any of the links that are now. I will hopefully get you on.